Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and I'm really actually trying not to feel things, honestly, today. It's what I'm trying to do. It just, my body really gets freaking feelings and my physical pain really confused, so I spend a lot of time telling myself that I'm okay even when I don't feel like I'm okay. So, already get out of the kitchen now. Get. Go lie down. Be a good dog. It's pretty hot here today. And if the dogs are right and in line with the air conditioners we got, we're good. But they step out of line from that, and being in line from that, then they're just freaking hot. It's hard for me to watch. So when things are uncomfortable, I'm super uncomfortable. So I'm a pleaser to the nth. Hi, girl. Come out, say hi, girl. Pretty lady. Let all the little cats out this morning. It's the first time they've been out. And then they were out by themselves, and I didn't get mom. I took mom to the park about 9:30. We were out there until about 11:30. Left early because I had a couple errands to do, and I was worried about her getting hot, man. Once people get hot, past the temperature, it's hard to cool them off, and she's got certain susceptibilities, so I just got to be extra cautious. She really likes being social. People come out, and we sit under the tree in the shade, and she just enjoys the breeze. It's good enough for me. So, didn't get home until about noon, and then all the little cats were like, oh my god, it's hot out here, you know. Tango didn't come home yesterday, the orange cat. You know, that's another thing, man. We're coming into Leo season. Everybody's talking about living from the heart. I'm like, that's all I ever do, man. My heart is wide open all the time. Open to freaking susceptible pain, you know, hurt, fear, neglect. I do it all the time, all year round. Maybe it has something to do with my Leo being in my third house. I don't know. But, it's kind of funny because, I have a brother. We're not close. We used to be, but people used to describe it that we were close like two people that are in war and that are in a foxhole. You know, and they got to come to rely on each other or become buddies, you know. But any other circumstances, we probably wouldn't even be friends. So, and we just grew up and we grew apart. And he has his family and he doesn't care about us anymore. And it's just a story that goes on. I mean, it's just a common story, man. People either, you know, they're either go two ways. Either the family you're born into, they love and care about you and are going to make sure you're okay, or they're not. And I haven't or they're not. So he played the Tin Man in a play a long time ago, and he went to Deer Creek, and I just always thought that was really funny because it just like his behavior was so heartless, and I thought maybe he was the Tin Man, you know. Maybe he could be the Tin Man as far as I'm concerned. And when I say heartless, you know, and people are like, oh, you're being exaggerated. See, the night before I went off to Operation Iraqi bullshit, he called to make sure that I signed my power of attorney in case anything happened to me and I died, and that he would get back any money that was owed to him. After I had already paid him back a bunch, like thousands of dollars. Like, I gave him my whole sign-up bonus. It was like $3,000. You can't win with people. You know, there's people that just take, and they have nothing to give. And I asked him to help me and Mom find a place to live in California so we could be closer to him and his daughter. You know, so Mom could be around her granddaughter, and he closed the door on us. So now we ended up in New Mexico. We got 6 months to find another place to live. And, you know, there's a lot of people around here that are looking for a place to live. And then it doesn't help when you have these freaking little pretentious little beboppers that want to experience it for 3 months. And then freaking, you know, we can't find places to live because all these freaking scumbag greedy people turn their residential houses into temporary lodging. Because the whole world done gone greedy. And coming to find out there's just not really a world for, there's not really a place in this world for people like me and Mom. There's a lot of people that the world doesn't have no room for us. And what are we supposed to do? Just die off? Is that what, I mean, kind of seems that's what, like, the powers that be, that's what they like. I mean, they pay themselves. I mean, they're millionaires, and then they tell poor people that they're not worth, you know, a place to live and income. You know, we don't even want as much as they do. It's their egomaniacal freaking propensities that have freaking made things bad for a lot of people, but they don't have a very broad spectrum, so they can't imagine how hard it's not even like they're trying to imagine. They don't care. They don't care if people are suffering. You know what I mean? People freaking how many people have wicked hearts that don't live and come from a place from a love, and it's just all about what they want. What, you know, all the stuff that they want to do. I had a conversation briefly today at the tax store when I went and got cat food. I'm like, man, we got all these people. Human beings are supposed to create heaven on earth, but the majority of the planet got greedy. So now everybody gets to deal with the consequences of greed. Everybody. You know, it's not just me. I've known a lot of people in my life, you know, and I put out videos. That's like, and when we started moving, when we had to move from Oregon, that started our journey here back in October 2020. We had to move from Oregon because we had to leave the place because the landlord, it happens everywhere. We want our house back, and so you got to go. And they only give you a couple months, and it's just a bad deal. And then so I put it out there everywhere. I was like begging people. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be homeless with Mom, man. If it was just me, that's when the dogs, even just me and the dogs, that'd be one thing. But now with Mom too, man. And you know, people always talk about how much goodness there is in the world, and I'm like, okay, let's see how much goodness is in the world is out there. So I put out like I did it all. I was begging people, right? Nobody I know helped. No, not one single person. I don't even think they like reposted like my plea or anything like that. It's just, no, Marge, you're just going to fall on your face and we're just going to watch you, and then we'll sit back and be like, see, I guess you weren't all that strong to begin with, but I didn't fall. And where are they at now? You know? I don't have a lot of friends in this world, man. I could probably count, I'd have to sit down and really think about who my friends were. Because people throw these terminologies around like nothing. Everybody's their friend, everybody's their buddy. But then you look around how people are treating each other. They are not treating each other very good. I even had to kick out Black Kitty like a Gray Kitty yesterday. Stay out of my tomato plant, little critter. So, the continuing saga of how the world is. I watched a video today. Some grocery store clerk, Mom. He was having a medical event. The guy that where you go to the grocery store or at the convenience store, the gas station, and pay the guy the money. Well, the guy that worked there or owned the place, I don't know. They just said he like had a heart attack or what, and he went down, right? And there are three dudes in the store, and they're like, oh shit. One guy even walked up to him, I guess, make sure he's still breathing. I don't know. And then you know what, these guys, they didn't help the guy. No, they didn't help the guy. They freaking robbed the place instead. They robbed the place. So the guy falls out. It's just like, man, dude, people are just not really ready for what's coming up next, you know? They're not ready, and I'm used to it. I'm used to the ugly side of humanity. I know humanity's gross. I've been looking for my whole life for the good ones. And I know that they're not like me, because I tell people, I make declarations. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. I'm not about all that lying, cheating, thieving, stealing, chasing sensations, promiscuity, stuff like that, right? And then people are like, "Oh my God, I am those. I am I like to do those things that she's not about." So we'll just put her on the out and keep creating our world where all that stuff runs rampant, right? So I've been on the outside my whole life. I've recognized from a very young age how detrimental it is to both parties, the abuser and the abusee. It causes great harm to both parties. And I never wanted to get caught up in that cycle. Now I'm getting old. I'm 48. I'll be 50 in a couple years, and it's like all the wear and tear that's happened to my body. I just, it's so, some days it's so hard just to stay positive just because I hurt all the time. And then I see these loving lighters, man. I don't think they know how much. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd freaking feel like an idiot all the time listening to them. But see, I know better, and I don't listen to stuff like that. When they say, "Oh, God can heal you," oh yeah, my hip still pops. He ain't never healed that. Are you saying I'm praying wrong? Are you saying I'm not faithful enough to God? So maybe he heals you, but he don't heal everybody. Because I've been asking for 48 years, 47. Yeah. There's people on this planet, man, they don't want heaven on earth. They want hell on earth. And they're winning. Just because people can't freaking relinquish control. Just because people can't freaking live from their heart. Even with all these animals around here, I didn't want this. I don't want all these cats. I don't want to have to bury cats all the time because you live out here and their lifespan is like a year because of the fucking asshole neighbors that have fucking dogs that eat cats, or for whatever reason. I can't keep everything alive. It's not. I'm just trying to make things as comfortable as I can while I'm here. That's all, pretty much. I feed them, I take care of them, and then I move on. That's just what I do. Is I know what it's like to be neglected. So my whole life I go around and I see things that need taken care of, and I take care of them. And then when I gotta go, or they leave, or I gotta leave, or something, it hurts. But it's that love, My brother told me. He told me. When all this stuff sorted out, we had to move. He said, put Mom in a home and get rid of 2 of your dogs. And I about had a nervous breakdown, just the idea of it, because, between all of them, Tucker and Artie, they're 12 years old. That's 24 years of love right there. Vinny's with us 8. So that's, 34? And Luna's been with us another 7. So that's 41 years that's a lot of love that they've given me and support that I never got from him. So why would I get rid of them? And a lot of people are in the same boat with me, but mostly I think the majority of the people, they just get rid of their dogs and their mom too. Because it would make it easier to just get rid of it and then go live an easier, softer way. Come here, Tucker. We're not going out right now. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here, baby. Come on. Oh, come on. Good boy. And then he's like, and then when he came to get her for the weekend to spend with my niece to go, and then I had to drive me and all the dogs and all the stuff down to Flagstaff, and he came up and he's like, "How long do you think she's gonna live?" And I just looked at him. I really wanted to ask him how long he thought his daughter was gonna live. Because it was really the same stupid question. You know what I mean? I don't understand people, and I never have, and it makes it really hard to just live life You know, because people tell you, oh, happiness is a decision. Just be happy. Well, okay. All right. Come have a conversations. You know, people don't even, happy people, they don't even like hearing about stories of my life because it makes them sad. Because they don't want to recognize the reality of how the world is. They just have been untouched by it because they've been living in a bubble. You know, they got to get sheltered. I would have loved to have been sheltered in my life. I would have loved to have been protected and taken care of, and, you know, had all those specially themed birthday parties and stuff like that, you know, all that stuff. I would be a different person today if that were my outcome. That has never been my path. See, some of us have to live harder lives and to have to go through hurt and more pain and more suffering just so we can teach other people how to do it. I mean, essentially, really, you know. And everybody gets their chance, and if you know, I know a lot of people are living great incarnations in this life, and that's cool, and you know, they can do this and they can do that, but this isn't the only incarnation we get. And everybody gets their chance. Everybody gets their chance. So what else happened today? Oh, I listened to a talk from what was it earlier? Let's see if I can. I'm not even finding stuff that I enjoy listening to. So I listen to stuff that I think is very informative, even though the people kind of bug me. I was thinking about that earlier too. I could talk about that a little bit. When people, you know, it's like people have gotten to a point where they have to like everything about a human being to be their friend or to know them and engage with them. It's like you can't have differences with people so much anymore. Like if you don't like something about somebody, then that's it. It's just like it's off. All bets are off. You can't even know them and stuff like that. I'm like, man, when did the world get the way that it did? And I've talked in my earlier videos about how I see things coming, you know, because you have like the baby boomers, the leftover baby boomers that were totally programmed and that created society so that they could profit, you know, from their industrial military complex and all that stuff, and the instilling of fear, and then the 60s and 70s with the idea that hippies and the love and all this stuff. And it doesn't matter if it's imposed, if it's all, it doesn't matter, man. This is just how the world is gone. You know, and then you have all the hippie free lovers and stuff like that. Then you have the 90s, and then what it evolved into in the 90s. And just in my lifetime, man, I've lived on freaking multiple different planets. And one thing that has collectively been the prominent theme is that things are just continuing to break down more and more and more as time goes on. And they've always said stuff to make people scared. My generation, I went to high school, junior high school in the 90s. I graduated in 92. And it was always the ozone layer. It was the ozone. It's depleting, you know, and then, oh my God, we're going to get sucked out of the roof of the ozone. It's just stuff like that. It's just like, I mean, I came to the realization when I was a teenager that none of the stuff they ever said was true, and that politics was a big old circle jerk, and that they just pushed things back and forth, and if they really wanted to implement change, they could do it just like that, just like, you know, overnight. All it takes is, you know, an idea, make it happen. People can do things immediately, they just don't, and then they hide behind policies and procedures and laws and regulations and stuff like that, and ultimately that's the reason why while society's dissolving, because people are too busy talking about who needs to pay for it, and money's not even real. So anyway, it's been kind of a weird day. I just have been transmuting more fear. I did get to meditate for a while, though. My mom enjoyed herself at the park. You know, I'm just trying not to be scared that, I'm never something happens and it can overwhelm me. And I'm getting too old and I'm getting to a place that, man, heck yeah, I don't want to have a heart attack. I don't want to, I don't want to drop dead like all these other people are doing right now. I want to live a freaking joyful life. I just don't want to struggle while I'm doing it the rest of it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.